Next, we gonna do, I don't know, bro. I've been getting these weird ass Disney and Nickelodeon theories all over my timeline, bro. And this is a theory about Helen from Drake and Josh. I don't know if y'all have ever seen Drake and Josh, bro. But like, I've been getting videos on my timeline with like unskippable titles, bro. This video is titled Helen from Drake and Josh Has a Secret. What could be Helen's secret, cuz?
What makes
this video 2 today
a character? There have been many instances.
It's a UK nigga, bro. So this theory about to be really good. The UK niggas, they voice make the theory sound more believable, bro. Even if it's pure bullshit, they voice make it sound like believable.
In television history, where characters have broken the fourth wall. However, there is one set of shows that have always confused people, and nobody has made any real sense of them. I'm talking about the Nickelodeon sitcoms. iCarly, Victorious, Drake and Josh, they all seem to be set in this one fictitious universe, but the small details and shared characters never seem to add up. Now, Drake and Josh was a popular show that aired on Nickelodeon in the mid-2000s, but in this show, there's always been this one character that's never quite made sense to me.
Like, I don't know, bro. Like, how deep was you watching Nickelodeon to see Helen seemed off? Cause she just seemed like the crazy movie theater worker when I was watching Drake and Josh, bro. Like, I feel like Josh was actually the craziest nigga on the show, bro. The one Jamaican nigga, cuz, who used to have the donuts on a stick, that nigga was weird as shit. That nigga was weird as fuck, bro. What the fuck did Helen do? What the fuck did Helen do?
Is Josh's manager, who works for the Premiere Movie Theatre. She appears primarily in the second, third and fourth seasons of the show. But if she's just this harmless, funny character, then why do we see her literally everywhere? This theory will address Helen's true identity and the reasons why the characters keep appearing throughout all these
Damn,
shows.
nigga! She can't just be a regional manager for the movie theaters and she gotta be everywhere. It would make sense that a regional movie theater manager is at a high school for performing arts, because she gotta go see if there's any new talent there, bruh. Was she on iCarly? I don't fucking know. But it makes sense for her to be on Victorious. And Drake and Josh working at the movie theater. So she would be at the movie theater with them niggas, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. I feel like he's pushing the Artie, bro. Multiple Helen.
So Drake and Josh is not the only show Helen appears in. She also appears in other Nickelodeon shows. For example, in the Victorious Season 2 episode Helen Back Again, she takes the role of the new principal of Hollywood Arts.
I'm the new principal of Hollywood.
Does that not make sense that a regional movie theater manager would end up being a performing arts theater? Because like, how do you not know if like her true passion is film and acting, and she just took the movie theater job because she fit all the requirements for it and needed money, and now she gets to really do what she loved, bro. You feel me?
When she introduces herself to Tori and the rest of the gang, she explains that she worked as a manager in the Premiere Movie Theatre and starred in the show Happy Times. This is her exact backstory from Drake and Josh.
Whoa, you played the little sister on Happy Times?
Yes, I was little Georgia.
That is not my job.
Yeah, that was my catchphrase. As a child, I starred in the television program Happy Times.
Sup, Pistol?
God.
Sup, bro?
You were the little girl who always said, "That is not my job."
Yes, I was. And most recently, I was a senior manager at the Premiere Movie Theater in San Diego.
So fine, she must just be the same character, right? Well, in another episode of the same season, Kat basically talks about how she watches Drake and Josh. Tori, Rex, and Andre also acknowledge the show in this scene.
That didn't happen to Tori and Trina.
It happened on a TV show.
Drake and Josh.
That show was classic.
But wait, how does this work if Helen's character literally just appeared as her principal?
Fuck, you got me. You got me. I'm cooked. I'm cooked.
I mean,
I'm cooked. My theory falls apart already. All right, I'm cooked, cuz. Salute, man.
It's gonna take some time to realize. Ooh,
There is a popular fan theory that Drake and Josh is really just a reality show inside of Victorious and iCarly. This would make sense, as it would explain why she's the same Helen, and why her backstory is the same. This would mean Drake and Josh are real people that played themselves in this reality show. Maybe that even explains the weird intros to each episode of the show where they just talk to the camera.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
And their real names.
This not even like a creepy conspiracy theory, bro. But like, he got this creepy ass music in the background, so every now and then I get chills down my spine about Helen from Drake and Josh, my nigga. Like, this is bad business, bro.
Must be Drake Parker and Josh Nichols, just like the reality show. Well, if we look at that in-universe website, theslap.com, Jade posts a status update for the Rockstar episode where she meets Josh and refers to him as Josh Peck, not Josh Nichols. How? Unless Josh Peck is the actor who played the character Josh Nichols, this would mean that it is not a reality show, but a fictional show in which the actors play characters. Now, we can move on to Helen's next appearance in The Game Shakers. This show is another Nickelodeon.
Yeah, by this point, bro, I was done with this shit, bro. By this point, I was watching Disney XD, bro. I don't know nothing about Game Shakers. Well, you could tell me these niggas was selling crack in video game consoles. I would believe you, bro. I got no clue.
Sitcom that focuses on a group of children who make mobile games, along with a rapper that goes by Double G. And
they was writing bullshit on Nickelodeon, cuz bullshit.
In one episode called Tiny Pickles, we see Helen with her own talk show, which the characters are invited to. Okay, so this means she's still Helen DuBois, which is very confusing, as in the same episode, Matt Bennett also appears as himself, which is the actor for Robbie and Victorious.
It's fun to run, it's fun to play, it's fun to make things out of play.
Now, there are 2 bloopers episodes.
Late ass stream, you know me, but you know how I get down, nigga. Bro, KG, not everybody can be a daytime streamer like you, nigga. Somebody gotta hold it down for the night hours, bro. When Batman bored as fuck patrol, who you think Batman gonna watch? Nigga, he gonna watch Jason Pierre, nigga. Hello? Batman bored as shit in the Batmobile right now, waiting for crime to happen, bro. And his Batmobile got like the Apple CarPlay, like the Tesla screen joint, where you can watch Twitch streams, bro. Come on, bro. You watching me, nigga? Goddamn. Relax, nigga.
That features
Just vibe.
for Rex as an actor.
Batman got shut, and we just getting started too, bro.
Also has his own talk show. At the end of the Game Shakers episode,
that being said, I haven't eaten all day, so eventually midway through stream, I'm just gonna fucking die, and that's okay. But just be ready for it, y'all.
He is spotted driving a van with Rex's dry cleaners written on the side. This is clearly not Rex, as he.
Bro, this dog be creeping the fuck out of me, bro. What's that nigga name? Is it Bo Burnham? Bo Burnham. This the nigga with the dolls? No, it's not, bro. Who's the? We should try to spot called Chipotle. Why do you keep acting like Chipotle is this unknown niche spot only you know that they only got in Texas, my nigga? Stop doing that, bro. What do they sell at Chipotle, bro? Ventriloquists. Yes, I spelled that shit wrong, bro. Jeff Dunham, bro. I used to watch this Jeff Dunham nigga when I was a young bull, bro, and he used to have these dolls that would creep the fuck out of me, doggy. Creep the shit out of me. And every time I see Rex, I just think about that, bro. I'm like,
by himself. This is the same Christopher Kane from the blooper episodes. In another episode of Game Shakers, they watch an iCarly marathon.
Crystal, what's your Chipotle order, bro?
Marathon on the Nick channel, and even meet Nathan Kress, who himself addresses he played the character Freddy on the show.
Look, I am just an actor, okay?
So every person from iCarly and Victorious in the Game Shakers is an actor, apart from Helen. You can even see her during the talk show as she has a mug referencing her Happy Times character, which is a show within Drake and Josh. This is still Helen.
Okay. Well, to be technical, that does kind of happen in real life. Sometimes niggas are just casted to play themselves, you feel me? Sometimes niggas are cast to play themselves, bro. Like, I watched the episode of I forget what show it was. I think it was Jesse, and Chris Paul was on the show. Chris Paul was on the show playing Chris Paul. I feel like all this stuff can still be true about Helen, but she's just playing it herself on the show. And now in Game Shakers, she's finally just Helen, childhood actor, and we had this long-running bit that worked at a movie theater and at high school, bro. But I could be wrong, bro. I don't know, bro. Hold on. Double white rice, double honey chipotle chicken, pinto corn, cheese, sour cream mixed with hot sauce on some niche shit. You the first nigga to ever get that shit, bro. You probably got explosive diarrhea every time you eat that motherfucker, bro. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Okay,
bathroom
so
probably sound like a war zone, nigga.
Established that the only person who doesn't follow this actor rule is Helen. She can't be an actor in Game Shakers if she plays Helen, and she can't be someone else because her memories and backstory is the same in every show appearance. Like, she's universally recognized for Happy Times. This might be a good time to mention how we see loads of parallel characters throughout the show. What I mean by parallel characters are different characters played by the same actors. For example, Shelby Marks from iCarly and Tori Vega from Victorious. Bonnie from Victorious.
Hold on. How does this work if Sam and Cat ends up happening in the future? Hold on, cuz. His theory might have... Because if she's not Victoria Vega right here... Hold on, bro. Hold on. Yo, you might be on to something. He might be on to something, y'all.
From iCarly and Tori Vega from Victorious. Bonnie from Victorious.
Because how does Sam and Cat happen if she's not the same character in that universe?
and Sam from iCarly, Andre from Victorious, and Harper from iCarly. Okay, but there's another episode that's always overlooked and could help to explain this. The Christmas special, iChristmas.
Merry Christmas, la-dee-da-dee-da.
This episode shows this weird character called Mitch who grants Carly the wish for her brother, Spencer, to be born normal, which changes how the characters around her act and know each other. This plot of this episode is an obvious parody of It's a Wonderful Life, but one detail that stood out to me was the fact that this isn't a dream, and Carly still sees Mitch on the end of her laptop, which means none of this was a dream and has actually happened to Carly in the show. Okay, so what if, and stay with me here, these parallel characters were granted these wishes by Mitch? Let's take Shelby Marks for example. What if she also met Mitch and wished to become an actor or singer? This led to her becoming Tori Vega in Victorious. Sam recognizes that Tori looks like Shelby Marks.
She looks like that Shelby Marks chick you fought.
But she doesn't appear in the show again. The parallel character for Andre and iCarly would be Harper. In the episode iCarly Saves TV, Harper is a musician who eventually quits the iCarly band after being forced to be in a dinosaur costume. What if Harper also met Mitch and wished to become a successful musician? He then becomes Andre.
No, brother, he would have become Leon Thomas. Asshole, your theory falls apart again. He would have become Leon Thomas. What the fuck?
Isn't Andre already in Hollywood Arts when Tori joins? Harper would have wished to become Andre before Shelby wished to become Tori. Shelby becoming Tori Vega could also explain why Trina appears as this popular girl in the episode I, Psycho, and then becomes unpopular and Victorious. What if Tori's wish affected Trina too? This could also work both ways. What if Pony, her actual name is revealed to be Fawn, but whatever,
Vaughn Leibowitz.
Oh, shut up, hippie!
was arrested? She obviously escaped prison at the end as she is driving Tori and Trina. She could have met with Mitch and wished to become Sam's twin sister Melanie, who has appeared once before in an episode of iCarly. Okay, so what about the TV shows that air inside of iCarly and Victorious? Some of these actors have even played characters in Zoe 101. This is another Nickelodeon sitcom that we see air inside of these shows. Like, we can see Zoe 101 in their TV planner. There is something stopping these parallel characters from recognizing themselves when watching these shows. As like I've mentioned before, Kylie does not question why she looks identical to Megan while watching Drake and Josh in the episode I Get Branky.
How come that little girl's so good at pranks?
What if Mitch also made these characters real? Like Craig and Eric, Stacey Dilson from Zoe 101, even...
What the fuck is a Mitch, nigga? What does
No,
what do Mitch got to do with any of this, cuz? How does nigga who showed up one time in one episode, like a year and a half ago, how did he change the trajectory of all Disney shows, of all Nickelodeon shows that came out, cuz? Who is this nigga?
Exactly a paradox, because they watch these same characters in these shows but also meet them outside of this. Maybe Mitch found it funny to bring these characters to life, and he's somehow sustaining this with his magic powers. Mitch has the ability to enter and leave TV screens, meaning he can alter what people see on and off TV. But this still doesn't explain why Kylie looks like Megan.
This shit the real MCU, the Mitch Cinematic Universe, cuz. It's the real MCU.
I'm just gonna assume they happen to look the same. To explain this better, I've made this diagram which places these shows on a vertical hierarchy or order. This diagram basically places every one of these Nick shows in order of which show exists within another. Like, for example, Drake and Josh is watched inside of iCarly, and iCarly is watched inside the Game Shakers. The line in the center shows how Mitch can take characters from one show and place them inside of another. However, as Mitch is still just a character in a TV show, he cannot exist above the red line. But, of course, Helen is the only character that can go between the letters. There is another show that aired on Nickelodeon that could also...
Okay, so this went from a Helen theory to a Mitch theory. Is Helen like above Mitch in like the power scaling world, bro? Like, what's going on here, bro? Like, where do Helen fall in at?
This show follows a girl called True and her friends as she
works as the vice president.
True Jackson VP. This show...
Who the fuck was watching this? Thank you. Who was watching this?
True and her friends, as she works as the vice president for the youth apparel division of a fashion company. This show wasn't made by the same people, you know who, but features many of the same actors from iCarly and...
This nigga was overly employed, bro.
Victorious. Jeanette McCurdy, Nathan Kress, Victoria Justice, Leon Thomas, but also...
When did this shit come out, cuz? What? What is this shit called? True Jackson VP. When did this shit come out? Bullshit. Bullshit. No way. Kiki Pump? No. No, cuz. Everybody was in this motherfucker. Robbie Amell? No. I need to hear the theme song for this motherfucker. No, this show didn't exist. They couldn't air this at midnight though. It's too many expensive niggas on the show. They cast this motherfucker, make it like a prime 7 p.m. Like before this, you got Henry Danger, you got this, and you got Thundermans after that, and that leads into King of the Hill on. No, King of the Hill wasn't. What was the first show on Nick at Night? I don't remember, bro. But whatever the first show on Nick at Night was right after this. But like it had to go Henry Danger, this, and then an episode of Thundermans. Or it had to go, I don't know, when did Loud House come out? I don't know, but like they definitely was airing this. This is a prime time show, nigga. It got Victorious Justice. It got nigga who played Freddy. George Lopez. Yes, George Lopez was the first Nick at Night show every night, bro. But yeah, look who on the cast of this, bro. Look who on the cast, bro. It's not gonna let me see the whole cast. True Jackson, shit laggy, bro. This shit laggy, bro. True Jackson cast, bro. Look, bro. Ray, Tyler J. No, cuz this didn't happen. How they pay everybody? How do they pay everybody? Nigga, I was in the show, cuz. I was in the show. What the fuck? Who else is in this motherfucker, bro? Nah, this is an expensive cast. This is an expensive cast. Laura Morano, Willow Smith. Where do they find the money for these niggas, bro? Where do they find the money for these niggas, cuz? I guess Tyler James Williams. It's like this cast cost you $40 million, cuz. There was money laundering going on somewhere. There was money laundering going on somewhere in there, bro. Somewhere.
Also, the actor for Helen. In the episode Company Retreat, we're introduced to
Helen's in this too? Oh, no, she forever paid.
Coral Barnes. She's the new replacement assistant for Amanda, another vice president of the company, after she fires Coral's sister. During the episode, everyone exchanges their secrets with each other as part of a challenge. Coral's secret is that she's secretly feeding mints with caffeine to Amanda, hoping she'll eventually lose sleep and go crazy.
You know those mints I keep giving her? They are loaded with caffeine. Every mint is like a cup of coffee. She will never sleep again.
However, the way Coral expresses her secret on the note seems a bit off.
I am not who I appear to be. Who are you?
I'm not who I appear to be. What does that mean exactly? If her secret was that she was seeking revenge, surely there would have been a more obvious way to write this. The receptionist even questions what she's talking about. She also immediately hides the secret in front of everyone and acts nervous when it's about to be revealed. She's the first one to interject when they find out their secrets are going to be shared. This might sound insane, but I think Coral Barnes is still Helen here. There's even a scene where Coral gets arrested at the end of the episode. We can see a picture of this in the credits, but the actual scene is never shown.
So why did you have to go off the grid and get a new name and act like you don't know these niggas, bro? Because like theoretically, hypothetically, if this is all a show, she's interacted with at least 7 niggas in this cast as their characters in another show and as their main actors in Game Shakers is what I'm picking up. How did nobody? Never mind.
I will come back to this later. So, if Coral, or Helen, really isn't who she appears to be, and who really is this person we're seeing in the episode? What is Helen's secret? What is she hiding? Henry Danger is another Nickelodeon show.
No way.
Henry Harp, or Kid Danger.
No shot she was fucking my nigga Captain Man and Kid Danger. There's no way. No way.
Sidekick was Captain Man. This show has had many collab episodes of other shows, like The Game Shakers, the show I mentioned before, and The Thundermans. One of the reoccurring villains on the show is Frankini, a social media megastar played by Frankie Grande. Yes, that Frankie Grande, Ariana Grande's brother. Anyway, in Frankini's first episode, Live and Dangerous, he's shown to have his own evil assistant. This is Goomer from Sam and Cat. Okay, if we backtrack a bit, we've just established that iCarly, Victorious, and Sam and Cat are all shows inside the Game Shakers. So if the characters of Henry Danger and the Game Shakers share the same universe, how is Goomer here? Like, isn't he also a TV show character? In this episode, Goomer mentions that he used to hang out with Frankini's sister.
I used to hang out with Frankini's sister. But that's a long story.
You might actually think that he's referring to Cat from Victorious and Sam and Cat, but I think he's actually talking about the actor for Cat here, Ariana Grande, which would make sense as every other iCarly and Victorious character on this level is portrayed by that.
I'm not gonna lie, I was really locked in, and then he threw that true justice, whatever that shit's called. He threw that true justice curveball. I've been thinking about that shit for the last 3 minutes, bro. I'm still trying to figure out how that show's produced. because it cost us so much money, bro. And now we got Frankini's evil sidekick talking about he hung out with Ariana Grande one time. My brain is going to explode, nigga. Slow down.
So with this logic,
please get back on track.
Called as actor Zoran Korach. Zoran has appeared before in the bloopers episodes for Sam and Cat. Back to the episode, Frankini plans to force Kid Danger and Captain Man to reveal their true identities using some sort of evil controlling technology which forces them to do whatever he wants. This is clearly some advanced technology he has. So this might sound crazy, but what if Frankini could have somehow taken Guma out of Sam and Cat and placed him inside of his reality? This isn't the first time we see him mess with television. In the Henry Danger musical episode, we see that the town is being controlled using a radio frequency, forcing everyone into performing musical acts. This is, of course, the evil doing of Frankini, but specifically, he interrupts television broadcasts so he can live stream himself singing. Also, when Henry lists a bunch of famous singers in the episode, Ariana Grande herself is name dropped as being on Team Frankini.
Ariana actually said she's Team Frankini. What?
So he's definitely not Cat's brother. So clearly Frankini has some advanced technology that could definitely pose a plausible explanation as to how Guma ended up here in the first place. Maybe Guma wasn't the only person taken out of a show like this. Guma isn't the only Sam and Cat character we see inside of Henry Danger. Smaller characters like Herb, the homeless man who frequently appears
Come on, cuz. My nigga Herb is homeless, bro. My nigga Herb is homeless. What do we gotta do with this?
My life's still going great.
And Bubs Dixon both appear in the episode #Knockout. What if this is still Frankini testing out his technology, and he was picking the stupidest characters in the show to take, and he's picked this episode to test it on? These are characters that would be unlikely to notice the displacement from the show, and no one would probably recognize. He eventually decided on taking Guma as his evil assistant. And yes, now there are two versions of Guma in this universe. The actor for Guma, Zoran, we see him in the Sam and Cat blooper episode, and this new fake cloned Guma. What if this happened to Helen too? And this is the reason the Helen show even exists inside of the Game Shakers. Helen is very similar to Guma in the sense that she's...
You see, now you lost me. Now you lost me, because I was with you. I thought Helen was some type of 8th dimensional imp who was just traveling through TV shows. Now you talk about she got cloned. You lost me, bro. You lost me, bro.
Also a character from inside of the Game Shakers, Drake and Josh, and they seem to have appeared out of nowhere. But what motive would Frankini even have to clone Helen in the first place? He only wanted Guma as his minion, so he probably wouldn't want Helen. We don't even see her in any of the Henry Danger episodes. I doubt he'd even seen Drake and Josh either, probably only watching episodes of Sam and Cat as his sister was in it. Also, I think that whenever a character is taken out of a show, nobody ever seems to recognize them. This must be some side effect of the TV extraction process. It would also explain why no one recognizes Helen in a talk show as a Drake and Josh character. So who took Helen out of Drake and Josh? Our first candidate is Christopher Kane. If we go back to the who took Helen out of Drake and Josh? Our first candidate is Christopher Kane. If we go back
how the fuck do the fucking puppet play into this? How?
Tiny Pickles Game Shaker episode. He can be seen waiting outside of the set for the Helen show. His van even turns up outside of the building.
Oh, hold on. Are you saying in the back of his van, he can clone niggas? Are you saying he can clone niggas in the back of his van? Hold on now.
Work for the Helen show? He did have his own talk show in the bloopers episodes. Why was he waiting for Matt Bennett? Also, if Matt Bennett met Helen on a talk show, wouldn't he be confused as to why the principal in a show he plays in is still being her character? However, there is someone even more likely to have asked Frankini to take Helen. Gail Double G Gray.
Have a good night, bro. Have a good night, bro. There is 2 minutes left in the video, and now we're introducing this Blackie. Are you serious? It's 2 minutes left in the video, and now we're introducing the true big bad. Like it's the fucking MCU movie. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Double G is the one who gets the Game Shakers a slot in the Helen show in the first place. The way he announces this is suspicious, saying the other guest who was booked had mysteriously cancelled.
John Stamos canceled.
Why would John Stamos cancel?
I don't know, maybe he's depressed.
Helen also happens to be a huge fan of Double G. There's a crossover episode between Henry Danger and the Game Shakers where they visit Swellview. What if Double G has visited here before and met Frankini to collaborate or something, as they are both somewhat famous?
Okay, so y'all are telling me, what you gonna try to convince me 13 minutes in after you've curveballed me 4 times is that Double G is some type of super villain with Batman level tech and Batman level money who is cosplays as a rapper to kidnap characters out of TV shows and took Helen to be his vessel of I guess, man. I guess, bro.
Shows. The
I
Game
guess, bro.
Shakers
I'm
have
trying
been
to keep
seen
up.
watching Drake and Josh, so maybe Double G watched the show, liked Helen's character, and thought it would be funny for her to actually exist. He might have even wanted to make her a talk show to promote his rapping career. Maybe this is why Helen is a huge fan of him. Helen being a TV clone of herself.
And this nigga wearing bullshit.
Promote his rapping career. Maybe this is
This is a sweatshirt with the American flag and a picture of the crossing of the river with pockets on it. You are wearing bullshit, son. I'm sorry. I had to point that out, bro.
This is why Helen is a huge
bullshit.
fan of him. Helen being a TV clone of herself would also explain her appearance in True Jackson VP. This show is just another TV show inside of this universe, just like iCarly, Victoria.
True Jackson VP didn't happen.
Maybe Helen was somehow cast as the character Coral Barnes for this episode. The crew probably expecting Yvette, but they could probably not tell the difference between the two. Helen then starts acting very strangely and going off script during the filming. For example, the manic laughter and talking about not being able to sleep. I mean, can a TV character even sleep? She knows that she's a TV character and is slowly slipping into insanity. This could be some weird side effects or glitches from the technology Franchini used at the time. This, 2009, is years before we are able to see him successfully extract Guma from Sam and Cat, which is sometime between 2014 and 2017. Also, a scene from the episode is removed where she is arrested, but a still frame is visible in the credits. What if this wasn't part of the episode, but behind the scenes footage accidentally left in? Helen had been escorted off set for not sticking to the script and acting weird. By the way, this must mean her Victoria's appearance is actually just a cameo from the real Helen actor. Nothing about this is really linked or suspicious, because Victoria's is just a TV show in this universe.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I can't wait to post this shit on YouTube, bro. I can't wait to post this shit on YouTube, bro. What am I watching?
Can't be proven which Helen plays the art student in the iCarly episode. There's not enough evidence and she doesn't do anything in the episode. And that is the Helen theory. Helen Dubois has been taken from Drake and Josh and placed into reality. So thanks for watching the whole theory.
But like, you didn't answer the question. You just kind of threw a couple ideas out there on what could have happened. You didn't answer it though. Like when I watch one of these videos, I want to know, because like now you established Helen isn't the only. No, never mind, bro. W video, bro. Clyde is calling, bro. Great fucking video, bro. This shit has 30,000 views and 1,000 likes. Niggas was invested, cuz.